Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Guess the Barcode. Today we're going to be looking at a game between a Protoss player and a Zerg player. Last week did get guessed a couple of times, so congratulations if you managed to guess Zest versus Beyond. That's exactly what it was. So good job to you all. I'm very proud of you. Today is going to be another one, and because you guys did such a good job last week, I'm not going to be giving any hints, I'm not going to be giving any tips. So you're just going to have to guess who the players are going to be. For now, we're seeing a block on the natural, followed up by a third base by the Zerg player. And the Protoss player will just be expanding immediately himself with a pretty quick Nexus, just standard Nexus into Cybercore, very normal opener. You see the probe trying to harass a little bit, trying to get a little bit of damage in. Economical damage, that is, of course. Every single time you push one of these drones away, that will cost the Zerg about 4 to 5 minerals. Well, just 5 minerals, because he's gonna miss an entire mineral walk, right? Or an entire mineral trip with one of the drones. Attacking the probe with the drone also usually isn't quite the move. I don't tend to really like it, but I mean, our Zerg player here seems to do it a fair amount, so power to him. So we have 4 Zerglings being built right now, 2 queens, and we see an adept with straight warp gate. Now straight warp gate is interesting. This kind of indicates a Twilight opener, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing here. We're going to be seeing a straight Twilight council. Now the question is this going... Wait, it didn't get scouted, but he still goes for the cancel into Stargate. Okay. Well, at least it's an interesting start here. That's a weird cancel. Nothing got scouted. There's not even a Stalker to really deny any type of vision. This Link could potentially just see, hey, there's a Stargate here. I have to avoid. Ooh, there's no workers being produced for a bit. Sloppy. An adept stalker in this way usually indicates Stargate. Most of the time with Twilight you'd open adept stalker, adept, if you do want to get those 3 gateway units out. What's this probe up to? And this probe's on a mission or what? What is he doing? I'm extremely curious, honestly. Just scouting if there's a third, or... This has to be a mistake, no? There's no way this was intended. Or is this the bait? The bait that we wanted but didn't really deserve. Okay, it's gonna be walking into the... No, it's just gonna finish his shade into the main base. Get 1, 2, 3, 2. 2 drones, a fair amount of damage on the Oracle, and 2 adepts down. Full worker pool though for the Zerg here for quite a while. We'll see if we'll see how that kind of pans out. I think this is fine for both players. Both players look at this and think, ah, this is okay. Now there is no extra adepts here yet though, which is a mistake. This pylon was a little bit late, which kind of means that this pylon is gonna go down now. And even that these units might be in danger. I'm not too sure about moving forward here, my Protoss friend. Stalker most likely is going to fall. A little bit of poor micro management there coming out of the Zerg, but it's going to be good enough. Second Void Ray on the way already here for the TOS player. He's gonna follow this up with Forged Twilight as well. And a second Void Ray. Now, people will be wondering, why would he build a second Void Ray if he's only going to be playing single Stargate? The reason is because he wants to trick his opponent into believing that this is going to be double Stargate while actually playing single Stargate. And thus kind of... They're just tricking his opponent into doing whatever the opponent wants to do, right? Against a double Stargate opener. So whether that's like a Hydra Bane push or Roach Ravager or Queen Roach Ravager, we'll see what our Zerg player will decide to do. Quick pull once again on these drones. Good micro so far by both players. Adept not quite getting the damage that we need. The adepts cancel their shade last second, and we'll be able to get one more worker total. So 2 workers end up being built. Spire on the way here for our blue Zerg player. Now that is a very, very odd play. If you truly believe that you're playing against a double Stargate Void Ray or just a double Stargate, Spire is almost never the answer. So I'm honestly just looking forward to see what he's going to be able to do here. Couple of workers gonna be going down against this Oracle, and it's gonna die as well. So Oracle goes down, which means no more scouting. Did that Spire get spotted? No, Spire's at the 3rd base. But our Toss has absolutely no idea what's happening. So we're seeing roaches, we're seeing +1, and we're seeing a Spire right now. Like, this can't be for Corrupted, right? If this is for Corrupted, I'm going to be insanely surprised. Most likely this is just going to be some Mutalisk and hoping that the Protoss player is just investing a lot into gateway units that aren't Archons. So we're gonna see 6 roaches, Overseer scouts, sees 2 stalkers being warped. So hey, that's a lot of gates. Where's your second Stargate? Hey buddy. The answer is there is no second Stargate. Overlord is going to be pushed back by these 2 stalkers. Void Ray's not really coming in action, trying to truly take that out. Is there batteries? No, there's no batteries. There's a blink on the way, which is kind of odd, but blink just seems like a weird call, unless he scouted, but he didn't scout, so I mean, it's just weird. Just in case of blink, I guess, or in case of Mutalisk, our man in red is going to be playing some blink. Now, blink is nice, but you also kind of need to be in position to deal with this type of play. There's a cannon going up right now in every single base, but no stalkers ready yet. 4 stalkers being warped in right away, and we see the blue Zerg decides to bounce as soon as possible and starts killing workers in the natural here of the red Protoss player, who is even going to be diving maybe on some of these Templar. Doesn't really seem to work out, but does waste a crap ton of storms. I think he just got 1 Templar there. Oh, might have been a Salad instead. Now this base looks a little bit vulnerable. These roaches are moving forward. The Hydra then Infestation Pit +1 on air. 4 more roaches. The unit comp of the Zerg is extremely weird, but I think it's going to be working out as this 4th base is going to be taken down. Where's the Mutalisk? There's 6 Mutalisks here in the middle. We see a single Phoenix is out, which isn't doing much of anything. This Void Ray is in a relatively dangerous position. Personally, I much prefer the position of the Zerg here. Oh, got 1 Ling almost in. Not quite though, not quite, but was close to getting that Ling in. Ling's gonna be moving around, trying to maybe get something done and try to poke at a 4th base. I mean, he already took out the 4th base once. Now we see the Toss player trying to kind of re-establish himself here. If you take a look at the mini-map. Toss doesn't have that much though. Like really, what is this? 3 batteries, no cannons. Creep threat's extremely mediocre out of the Zerg as well though. Extremely mediocre. I mean, there really hasn't been any major aggression. Interesting attack, forces out a couple of storms. Where's the follow-up though? 1800 minerals, 900 gas in the bank here for the Zerg, who is yeah, it's honestly playing a little bit sloppy macro-wise, I think. Pretty slow when it comes to the creep spread. Feel like a max out faster probably would have been able to just straight up kill. But now with the lurkers, maybe it's still going to be possible to straight up go for that kill. yeah. Creep tumors absolutely doing nothing. Okay, finally we see a little bit of creep being pushed forward. 5 base, 10 gas, of course. When you play lurkers, that is kind of what you want. 2 cannons going down on the 4th base. There's all no gases yet though here. And the Toss player staying on extremely low worker count. And kind of just not getting any bank. Oh, he's not even close to being maxed. He still needs to go 70 supply, which is at least going to take 2 more minutes, I believe. After those 2 more minutes, perhaps he's going to be 70 supply, but or 200 supply, but it's hard to say. I mean, this just means that the blue Zerg now has 2 minutes to completely prepare for what his opponents potentially could be throwing at him. Which honestly doesn't seem like a whole lot. Like the Toss just doesn't really have an army. Adaptive talents, by the way, being researched before seismic spines, or was it double lurker then? Double lurker then, I've never seen. You almost never see it. I much prefer double Evo over double lurker then, honestly. I think that's more important, especially if Toss decides to eventually transition into carrier. If you have +2 or +3 armor against +1 carriers, you're gonna have a sick fight. This is a quick burrow. Seismic Spines is finished as well. We now see the Zerg player moving into position here, trying to get on top of that ramp. I think he could. There's not that many storms in position there on top of the ramp. Now there's a crap ton of Immortals with this army. The lurker count is not that high. We see a completely failed roach run by. What is the Zerg going to do as a follow-up here? I'm curious. I mean, he probably needs to keep going with his lurkers. There's 5 more on the way, 11 more Hydras on the way as well. As we see the Protoss player getting closer to +3, getting really close to that mothership. And then just rebuilding an Oracle and an Immortal. So, truly going for that massive ground army. There's no air yet coming out of the opponent yet. And I think that's good for the lurker player. Usually, if you just keep messing lurkers, you kind of just beat the ground army of the Toss. Like, you need air as a Protoss player to beat the lurker army. That's just a fact. We see 5-6 Zealots going ham on the bottom right side base, but still 4 base against 5 at this point. We see the Protoss is trying to take the 5th base, but... Oh! I'm not sure what these Immortals are doing, but I love it. Good storms, trying to zone out and ensure that his opponent can't move forward too fast. That's really just going to be the main goal. I actually think the Zerg player should be moving in a little bit quicker, but actually decides to completely back out and back off. Very odd decisions here being made. Good storm from the back, couple of Immortals coming in from the back as well. With good splits, I think he can just straight up engage into this. With good splits, I think he can just straight up do that. Yeah, does kind of seem to be the case. A lot of units on the right side stay alive, but it's only 5-6 roaches. And we see our Protoss player absolutely demolish the army that the Zerg had been getting together for a while. The Toss was getting closer to max, and I was like, okay, now it's my turn to have a good fight. And the next transition was not ready yet for the Zerg. His lurker count just a little bit too low. Perhaps also important to note that, of course, now that his worker count is at 83 and his opponent only has 69, it's going to be like slightly harder than if you had more supply, right? So that is something to keep in mind. Now we see this mothership just floating around. I'd love to see like an aggressive recall play. So on the right side, Zealot run by being used, pull his opponent's army out of position. This base should be Gonzo, by the way. This is a goner, this base. I think he can just time warp the ramp and then attack into this. Couple of storms raining down on top of these Hydras, not taking too much damage. Good micro coming out of the Zerg. What's the lurker count right now? We see 17 lurkers, 13 Immortals. Moving up a ramp, that's most likely not going to be the play. Taking a lot of damage right now. There's no storms whatsoever here to zone this Hydra army. See the lurkers moving forward, gonna siege up once again and start taking out these Immortals most likely. Ooh. Immortals now getting a decent concave at least. And we see 14 lurkers against 10 Immortals remaining. But this little skirmish here definitely was good for the Zerg player. Now we see a recall coming out of our red Toss. The question for me is going to be, does he have enough right now? Not, is he going to have enough in the next 5 minutes, but what's his army right now? His army right now is just a relatively basic ground army with +0 carriers on the way. Like, that's not going to be supply, that's going to be very useful. It's going to be rather useless actually. Now, the one nice thing for the Toss is that Zerg is only on 5 bases as well, and I was gonna say if he can kill like 10 overlords here, that'd be ace. But Does not really seem to be the case. We have a lurker army on the chase and the immortal army on the run. No more storms here for those zoning storms. 5th base is being retaken on the far left side. There's still a zealot run by is what I was going to say, but these zealots belong to the swarm. As this army is getting pushed back further and further, we still see 10 lurkers on this map against a mere 4 immortals. Now sure, that's in combination with storm, sure, that's in combination with carrier, but I'm starting to believe that this is going to be rather hard here for our Protoss player. Still on 4 bases, or well, 2 mining bases really. He doesn't really have anything mining in the main, and a half at the second and the third, and a full base mining at the fourth. So 5th base should be in the works. There we go. Maybe giving himself another chance to try and win this game. As you see, 2 armies clashing. But honestly, without upgrades on the carriers, I'm not really seeing it. We see the lurkers moving forward, corruptors joining in the party as well. Once again, the corruptors just sieging up. There's only 4 left, but I don't think it's even going to matter. The DPS of the Hydras with +2 upgrades with +1 armor is just going to be a little bit too much here for our blue TOS player. Now, if you believe that you know who it is, don't forget to leave it down in the comments below. I'll be impressed if you guys get this one. I'll be less impressed if more than one person gets it. But yeah, good stuff. Thanks everyone for watching me. Don't forget to smash like and don't forget to participate in this episode, and don't forget to have a look at the previous episodes as well. See you all next time, and bye bye.